Welcome to the friendliest campus in the South.
Shotgun, Blanchard, one back set, rolls right, pressure coming, throws, Middleton, go!
To the gym of the hills.
He lifts it to left. That one's pretty well hit. Hall on the run. That ball is gone.
Home of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
Over the day, over the Hall. He fires up at the buzzer and drains the three. So good defense by Huntingdon. Gregory releases the leg, pulls up, he checks.
This is your podcast for JSU Sports.
High fly ball, center field. It is back. It's out of here.
With your hosts, Brandon Owens and Cody Hooks. This is Cocky Nation.
Welcome home, Gamecocks. This is another great episode of your favorite podcast, Cocky Nation, where we talk about all things cocky, and we are not talking about our attitudes. We are talking about sports. We are talking about Jacksonville State sports. In case you're new to our podcast, which if you are, hi, I'm Brandon, and that's Cody.
Excuse you.
Hey, nobody's going to know the difference.
Maybe if they're listening on Apple Podcasts or whatever, but the ones that are listening on YouTube.
It's okay. It'll be fine. It's fine. Just go with it. Okay. But we do have a lot that we want to talk to you guys about. Unfortunately, not all of it's great news. We did receive a couple L's this weekend in some of our sports, but overall, we do have several things that we want to talk about. So to get us started off, we have started up on beach volleyball. Mm-hmm. Beach volleyball has started up for us. Okay, we are in Conference USA. And so our next meeting is going to be Huntingdon.
Our first.
Yes.
Of the season.
Huntingdon Beach Bash, where we are going to face UTC at 4:30 on Friday. And then Saturday we face Florida Southern at 11:30. And then, of course, we are facing Huntingdon College at 4:30 on Saturday as well. I like beach volleyball. You know,
I do too.
I think I'm one of those people that just like sports that people just generally don't talk about, aren't they're not big mainstream. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I keep up with bowling simply because my sister was my sister's part of the bowling team as well. But you know, I don't know. I like the idea of beach volleyball. You know, if I was any good at it.
It's a lot like softball. It's very fast paced. Yes. I enjoy beach volleyball. The past 2 or 3 years, I've gone to some of the conference championships that have been held here in Huntsville, including last year to see Jacksonville State in the ASUN tournament. But I've enjoyed going and watching beach volleyball. It's one of my favorite times of the year. That usually happens in April, early May. So, yeah, I love beach volleyball. An interesting thing about NCAA beach volleyball is that there's not a Division I, Division II, or Division III. It is just one complete division because there's not enough teams across the country to have, those split divisions. So, if you have a beach volleyball team, regardless of what your other sports are in, you're all of us are in one division.
Congratulations. So, you have a chance for a national title.
So, Florida Southern is D2 and Huntingdon is D3 for all their other sports. So, for this one, we're all just smack dab in one division. Something tells me I read something that said there's about 83 total beach volleyball teams across the country. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but for some reason I remember 83 sticking out in my head a lot. So
maybe, but wouldn't it be funny if beach volleyball is the first sport in JSU history where we win an NCAA title, an actual NCAA title? I'm setting high expectations now.
We have
Oh
have
no,
a
no,
couple.
like what I mean is because like we talked about, there's no Division 1, Division 2 with beach volleyball. There's just
Right.
beach volleyball. So like the national title for those is completely different than getting a D2 NCAA title than a D3 NCAA. Like I'm talking like, you know what I mean? And so that's what I mean. Like just that type of title. Like, wouldn't it be funny if like we get a title? I mean, it's not that surprising because again, I think back to our cornhole state's national title that we got. So I don't know. I just think it's funny. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
we haven't won a national championship in football, but by God, we can win one in cornhole and beach volleyball.
that would be awesome if we could win one. The interesting thing, this might be a good trip to take, even if JSU doesn't like make it. It would be so fun to go to the national tournament, which is actually held in Gulf Shores. So that would be a fun trip to take.
Brendan and I are just going ahead and planning for it. We're going to be there. Ladies, beach volleyball team, we're looking for you. We believe in you. But
My question is, when are they going to start a men's beach volleyball?
I don't know. I'd suck at it though.
I'm pretty decent at volleyball. I'm not to the same level as some of these ladies or some of these other men that play on actual college teams, but I'm fairly decent.
I'm the guy that when the ball comes spiking down, I get smacked in the face. So I mean, I see it going oh so wrong on oh so many ways.
I'm usually the setter because I can't spike. I don't have the jumping power, nor do I have the coordination to actually like hit the ball mid-air. I'm more of the setter.
Oh, trust me, I can't spike a ball either. Listen, I am 5'9". Okay, I cannot jump. My body was not made to jump. My body
I
was
can
made
jump.
to
I just
stay.
can't jump that powerfully.
My body likes gravity, and that means I stay to the ground. So, that being said, we are looking forward to that, and I think that I'm excited. That's ultimately how I feel about beach volleyball, and I'm excited to see how it goes. But with that being said, let's continue on our road towards our different sports. So let's go ahead and let's start with softball, where unfortunately it was not a fun weekend.
No, it was not.
It was not a fun weekend at all.
I don't know what got into the girls, but it was not a good weekend.
So we went to the Tennessee Classic and we went 0-4. Like, it was rough. Like, Friday got canceled due to the weather, which isn't surprising. We knew that there was a potential.
The entire format.
Literally. And so Saturday we lost to Belmont 1-0.
Which I was very surprised at that.
Yeah. Later on that afternoon, we lost to Tennessee 9-0.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
We lost to App State 5-1 on Sunday.
Again, surprised that we lost that bad to App State.
And then we lost again to Tennessee 2-0. Now, the benefit, though, is that in that second Tennessee game, we only lost 2-0, which means that we must have tried to
change things up.
Sorry, my dog is attacking my cat in a good way. They're not killing each other, at least not yet.
I was about to say, tell my fur niece and nephew to stop.
Well, there's the dog. But we did make some appropriate changes when it came to that second game with Tennessee, where we did only lose 2-0. So we did make some unnecessary changes overall. But again, I mean, Okay, Tennessee, I'm not super surprised about. It's Tennessee.
No, yeah.
You take what you can. Are you listening to that?
Yes, I am, and I'm literally picturing what's happening right now.
I'm trying to keep my composure about it too. But we knew how it was going to go. App State, I was kind of surprised about. Honestly,
Very surprised.
I thought that we would have at least kept it a little bit closer.
Mhm.
I mean, we kept it close overall, but I wanted to see it be a little bit closer than 1-5. I thought we should have kept it closer to like maybe 3-5, or in that case. I think based on what I understand, it did come down to, I mean, they scored early. App State won overall, but they scored early in the first and third innings, and then the one run that we did get in was in the sixth inning. So we couldn't finish up overall, which is kind of, it is what it is. But I mean, Belmont was also another surprise, but
We should not have. If there was any game we should have won, it was Belmont.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Anyways, a few thoughts on my thoughts on how the weekend went. I feel the fact that we only scored one run, I'm very surprised at that. We had 3 shutout losses, which again, that surprised me. So I'm very surprised that we were only able to score 1 run this entire weekend. So did our ladies just have a bad weekend, or are these teams a lot better than what we thought?
I think it's a little bit of 50-50 for me. If you're asking me specifically, just because I think we had a bad weekend overall because the fact that we only had 1 run out of 4 games, like our bats were not in. Okay. We couldn't hit the ball. We couldn't produce runs. So we were messing up on that end. I also think that App State, Tennessee, I think they're really solid teams. Belmont's the only one that I was kind of really surprised about, where I was like, we should have absolutely won that game. So it's just one of those things that, it is a mixture. Maybe it was the weather, maybe it was the change in scenery, the time. I mean, there's different categories that go into that. I mean, as a history teacher, I talk about that all the time, where, if this wouldn't have happened, then history would have been different. So, you have to take all those things into factor.
Yeah, this is just my intuition speaking. I think before the weather hit, I think our ladies were like very pumped for the weekend. They were riding a lot of really good momentum from the past couple of tournaments. And it was going to be a good weekend. And then the weather hit, and I don't know if it necessarily messed with their psyche that much, but I mean, it did something.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sucks. It sucks overall, but I think that this weekend is the opportunity to get back into the swing of things. Get it? Swing of things.
You're so funny.
Hey, we're a sports podcast. I got to do sports puns. Okay, but I think this is the opportunity to get back into the rhythm of the game, because this weekend we are hosting the JSU Gamecock Invite, where Western Michigan, Sanford, and
us. It's only 3 teams.
I thought it was oh, sorry. Yes, that's right. I was looking at baseball. But Western Michigan and Sanford are coming to us to play, and I think this is a really good opportunity to fix a lot of the issues that we've been dealing with on the road, because we will be at home. We do have that field advantage.
Yeah, I agree. Usually these kinds of tournaments go very well for us because our home field advantage plays. I mean, it plays into how good we play at our own tournaments. I think this game or this invite is going to be a way for us to fix our issues from last weekend, get back into the rhythm of where we were before the Tennessee Classic, and just move forward, because this is our last tournament that we're participating in. After this, we enter into maybe a few non-conference games, but I mean, a majority of the schedule that's left is conference games. So we enter conference play after this.
Yeah, and see, again, I think that this is the time to really kind of adjust to the situations that we're running into before anything else gets picked up. Anything else, because this is one of the last tournaments, as you said, that we were running into, and if we want to fix the issues now is the time. We cannot wait until we're on the road trying to fix these issues. So I'm going to say that if we lose any games this weekend, it's going to be to Samford, and I think it's going to be like, I think it'll probably be that either that first game. Yeah, I'm going to say it's that first game. That's my prediction.
I'm looking at the weather. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, you're good. I'm looking at something real quick as well.
Go ahead.
So I'm looking at their schedule. So far, Samford has played Seton Hall, beat them once.
Seton Hall.
Seton Hall.
That is not how you pronounce it, Cody.
Listen, everybody on this podcast knows that I do this just to make you angry. Okay, so they beat Seton Hall once.
Good.
Lost to Southern Miss twice. Okay, so they're 1-2. Lost to Ball State 1-3. Beat Ball State 2-3. Okay. Lost to Lindenwood 2-4. Lost to Belmont 2-5. Lost to UAB 2-6. Lost to Alabama 2-7. Lost to Southern Indiana 2-8.
You lost to two transitioning teams.
Yeah. Lost to beat IUPUI. So they're 3-8. Lost to North Alabama 3-9. Beat IUPUI 4-9. Southern Indiana, they beat 5-9. Let's see, Kennesaw State 5-10, 5-11, 6-11, 6-12, 6-13, 6-14. So they're 6-14 right now. Sorry it took me that long. I'm bad. Listen, I'm a social studies teacher, not a math teacher. It takes me a while. Okay.
Dang.
So I'm going to say that based on their track record when it came to like some of the classics that they've been into, they would beat them once and then lose the second time, or vice versa. So if we do lose a game, I think we'll lose that first game at 2:30 on Saturday, and then we'll beat them on Sunday, or we're going to sweep them. Western Michigan, I'm not too worried about them. I think that we will probably have no issues out of them. I think we should win this overall. I will say that. I think we will beat both teams overall.
So after looking at the weather, like temperature-wise, it's going to be fairly decent, but here's why I say we will lose our first game against Western Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It is supposed to rain earlier that day, so that could affect the field a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I know the grassy parts on our field are turf. I don't know if the dirt. I would assume the dirt portion is not turf. So that could possibly cause some issues in that Western Michigan game. But I think the rest of the weekend we could easily win the rest of those games. Sunday they are going to have to battle rain almost all day.
Yeah.
So
I'm supposed to go play golf on Saturday, and I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
did I say Saturday or Sunday?
You said Sunday they'll have to face rain. But
Saturday should be okay.
yeah.
So I think, and luckily we only have one game on Sunday, and it's against Samford. So Saturday when we play Samford and Western Michigan, I think those will be fine. I think we will lose our first game against Western Michigan because of weather conditions.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Ladies, take advantage of this opportunity. I think that this is a great opportunity to show what we can do overall. So I'll be on the lookout for that. But on the other side of the field or the other side of campus, we do have some updates with our baseball team. Again, not a great weekend. It was just, I don't know. Both our teams were just kind of struggling this weekend. So last time we talked, we mentioned the Alabama game, and then we also mentioned this weekend where we faced Bradley. If you weren't watching that game on the SEC network, yes, we lost to Alabama 17-3. It was a really
it was rough.
It was rough. It was a very rough game. We were just not. I mean, it's Alabama. You got to give credit where credit is due. So I don't think there's really much to say about that other than Alabama, you're a good team. Roll Tide. And we just got to move on.
Their athletics overall have been like fantastic this year.
I mean, they won overall, so they won the conference title for basketball. So
regular season.
But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, what really kind of shocked me though was the weekend, because I really thought that we had a really good shot, and apparently I was wrong. I think Brandon and I both agreed that we thought that we were going to win 2 and lose 1. No,
I said it was going to be a sweep.
Oh, I thought it was no. Yeah, you and I both did say that we thought it was going to be a sweep. But we ended up losing the first 2 games and won the last game. But the first 2 games we lost 3-4 and then 7-9. The positiveness of this is, if you're looking at it from this perspective, is we did keep it close at least.
Yes.
But based on what I understand, it did come down to the wire. So if we're looking at Friday's game, Bradley, so we scored in the first inning. And then Bradley scored in the 5th inning. So did we. They scored in the 6th. So did we. And then it just came down to the ninth inning, where we tied it up, and then it went all the way to the 11th inning. So, I mean, it was a hard-fought game.
That was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, it is what it is overall, but like, again, it does suck. I mean, at the end of the day. Now for Saturday's game, again, we kept it close. We were up in the beginning. It was 4-2. And then second inning, we scored another. They scored 2 and they scored 2 more in the third. Then they came back in the 5th and the 6th. We didn't come back and make some more runs until the 7th inning, and by that point, it was just too late. So, it is what it is. You got to take your L's, and you got to take them strong, and then that's what we did when we came back on what do you call it? On Sunday. We beat them 11-5. So it sucks to let your team lose, but I think I don't know. You could argue weather may have played an effect on it, but at the same time, I mean,
I don't think it did. There's something about this team. There's that fighting spirit that, I mean, it's very obvious in the first 2 games of how close it was and how they were trying to come back and win the game. Like, There's just something about this team. There's just that little oomph that's missing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I was very happy for them overall. And I think that we have a much more solid team overall than we did in the past. But again, we have to finish. Okay.
Yes, we do.
We got to do what we got to do. Now with that being said, as we are speaking, there is a game currently going on. And I think they're almost done, actually. I don't know if the scores come out for that yet, but we are playing Alabama State right now. I'm trying to see what the score is right now. If there has been a score update for that. So we are playing Alabama State right now, and then I just drew a blank. After that, we do have a game tomorrow that is on that is Auburn. We face them at 6 p.m. And then we have a series with South Alabama this weekend. Now, I don't know what Auburn's schedule looks like currently, but I would like to see us win this game. I mean, that's just me personally.
I mean, I would love for us to win this series too. I don't know if you want to know the score from tonight.
Is it bad?
It's very bad.
For us or
for us?
What?
We lost 13-3.
What?
Yeah.
What? Against Alabama State?
Yeah.
Dang, man.
And it was at home.
What? Oh my god.
It was bad.
Well, call tomorrow a loss.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
We're going to lose Auburn. And I think we'll win one game against South Alabama. I don't think we'll win. I would like to win the series, but I don't think we're going to win the series.
I think we'll win the series against South Alabama.
What's their record right now?
That is a very good question.
That is a very good question.
But I think tomorrow we are definitely losing to Auburn. That's just not... There's no question about that, especially after the result tonight against Alabama State. Like, I just want to know, is Alabama State that good, or
I don't know. And see, you can't click on it. You can't click on. I don't know. You talk about how you feel about the game. The games this weekend. I will find out what Alabama State's record is.
So South Alabama is actually 6-6. They've lost to Eastern Kentucky. They've beaten Eastern Kentucky. They've beaten Northwestern State. They've beaten UAB. They've beaten Nichols. They've lost to Nebraska. They've beaten Tulane. They lost their invitational. They lost Pepperdine and Iowa and beat Southern. They are playing New Orleans tonight. I don't know if they are done or not.
Let's see. D1 baseball.
So yeah, I would say we win Saturday and Sunday. I don't think we'll win Friday.
They are 6-7. Alabama State currently is 6-7. Now they're 7-7 because they apparently smoked us tonight. But based on what I understand, they're not terrible. So there you go.
That's a change of pace for the SWAC.
Mm-hmm. I saw one of their team. Who did they play this weekend? Yale. I was driving by there because it was down in. I was at Huntingdon College this weekend, for an event, and when I was leaving, I passed Alabama State University, and I saw the baseball team warming up for their game on Saturday. So, and they beat Yale 10-0. So.
Yeah, Auburn is 10-1-1. We're losing tomorrow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
it would not surprise me if Auburn run rules us in 7.
And we're playing at Auburn, right?
Yep, we're playing on the Plains. No. It's at Jacksonville.
Oh my God. We may hold on. You never know. Since we're playing at home. Home field advantage?
The biggest crowds while we were there was when we hosted Auburn and Alabama.
I mean, this could be a really good opportunity for a lot of people to come to this game. I would say this is a good opportunity for people to come to the game.
The only issue I have is it's on a Wednesday.
True. And correct me if I'm wrong, but spring break comes up, not this next week, but the following week?
The following week.
Which means that everybody is getting ready for finals or midterms. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I was more thinking along the lines of church being on Wednesday nights.
That is also true. But, I mean, would it be bad if I said God will forgive you?
No.
But
it wouldn't be bad because I honestly think he would.
There you go.
So please, if you feel like you can miss church for one Sunday night, go see JSU play Auburn.
Yes. But guys, that is it for us tonight. Be on the lookout for the games this weekend. We may be surprised about South Alabama. Who knows? But tune in for tomorrow night's game against Auburn at home. We will keep you guys updated, of course, once those results come out. But we thank you guys for listening. And if you have any questions for us, you can always message us on our social media platforms because you should be following us in the first place, right? So in case you're not, our social media platforms are Cocky_Nation, at Cocky_Nation. Don't forget the at. Most social media platforms won't, let you do anything otherwise. And then, of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, it's Cocky Nation, a JSU podcast. And then, of course, always be looking out for all of our other social medias, friends and family that are on the Fans Nations on Twitter, Fans Nation Network, or the FCS Fans Nation on Facebook, because they have some really good content. They are getting ready for the next season as we move into into more baseball, and of course as we get ready for football next season. So be on the lookout for more information as they start posting their material. But guys, we love you. We appreciate everything you have. Brandon, any last words?
Just when you're on social media, be respectful of people, please.
Social media can be a bad place, but we have to be respectful of each other. So
yeah, and be respectful of other teams too.
Yes. We may, Brandon and I may beat up on NDSU and Eastern Washington and South Dakota State and Sam Houston and all these other in Kennesaw, but at the
you
end of
would
the
never
day,
see us actually bash anybody on social media.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, we are all just big fans of sports and we just want to support our teams. So you got to remember that, we are just human. Brandon and I, for me specifically. I'm a graduated alumni. I mean, I love my team, but I'm never going to die on a hill for my team like that.
Right.
So just remember, everybody's human. We have to be kind in this world.
And if you do see us bash somebody, it's all in fun.
Absolutely.
Like, some people take stuff way too seriously sometimes. It's life. Don't take it way too seriously.
Yeah. But guys, for real, be nice, be honest. In the words of Dr. Walters, be kind to each other. It's very important. But we love you. We thank you. Go Gamecocks. And of course, always fear the beak.
I think StreamYard glitched at the very end.
Oh, we're still going live, Brandon.